take your drum tracks from sounding like this to sounding like this. Okay guys, welcome back. Sean from Adelaide Studios, and I've imported a session in here for a client that I'm working on. It's got 58 tracks in it. It's a big one, and my screen's a little bit wonky here, camera. And I just thought it would be, I'm setting up a mix for this right now, but we're working on the drums, and I've got what I've got going on here is I've got 10 drum tracks in here. And I'm going to do a quick little mix on it and show you how easy it is. And it's so super easy, so simple, using PreSonus's Studio One Professional, and I'm using all stock plugins. I'm not manipulating the plugins or anything. I'm just pulling them right out of the library as is. And I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plugins. I'm using literally 7 plugins to get this tone going, or get these big drums going. And so let's dive in. Let's get right at it here. So first one, I got 2 kicks. I got a kick in and a kick out. I've got no processing on these whatsoever. I do have my snare top. I've got a fat channel on it, and I'll just pull that up here. I got a fat channel, and all that is in my fat channel is just go into your drum tab here and pick fat snare. That's all that is. It's a fat snare. There's nothing crazy about it or anything like that. Going over to the snare bottom, I actually duplicated the snare track, but I'm just EQing this one different, and I just put a dark snare on it. Again, go to your Pro EQ and pick the snare drum bottom. Plain simple. Just for some different EQing. Then I've got my hi-hat. I've got nothing on it. Tom 1, 2. I have nothing on. There's only 2 toms in here. I have nothing on those either. And then we go right over to room A mic, room B mic, and then the overhead mic. Now, I wasn't there when the session was recorded. So the client just sent this to me, actually. It was actually recorded in the UK, believe it or not. So it's kind of cool. But more importantly, if you watch my last video when we talked about setting up your mix in the stereo spectrum, this is so crucial when you're doing this. I'm going to shut off all the plugins here for a minute. And so basically what I've got is my kick right up the pipe, right up the middle. My snare, I've actually got that right up the middle as well. Then on both snare drums, snare top and bottom, both up the middle. My hi-hat and my ride, I've got to the left about 5%. You can go 5 or 10% on that. Then Tom 1, I took all of 50% to the left. Tom 2, I took 50% to the right, just for some separation. And then my room mics are kind of neat because you know what? I'll solo my room mics real quick, and I'll kind of explain to you what that is and how that sounds. So my room mic, room A by itself sounds like this, and I've got it panned 100% to the left, and I'm using it. It's for ambiance. I'm using it as a reverb, to be quite honest with you. Then my next one, I've got my B mic, I've got on the right side. Okay? Using it for ambiance again. And then on the overhead, I've got straight up the pipe. Okay, just for some more air. It's just air. So the 3 of those all together sound like this. Okay? Sounds like just a very thin drum set. But when you throw it into the rest of the mix, it just adds so much to it. And I will talk about my buses. So everything that I have in here, I actually took my 2 kick drums, my kick A or my kick in, kick out. I took both of those and I sent them to their own kick bus over here. And here's where it sits here. And I did that for a reason, because I want to treat it a little bit differently for a compressor. So my snare, my hi-hat, my ride, my toms all go to the drum bus, which is right here. Next 2 or 3 channels over, so my room mics, I treat those a little different as well. So I created another bus for those called an Ambiance bus, and so I sent all 3 of these over to my Ambiance here, and all I did is put an EQ on it, a Pro EQ on it. Then I take all of my buses that I have here, and I send them all. You can see right here it says drums all. I create another bus for all 4 of these, right? And I created another bus right here, and it's called drums all. Okay, and then I send that to that bus. And the only reason I'm doing it that way so I can control them all together, right? That's the only reason, so I can take my level and control it all together, right? Okay, so and then that bus itself goes out to the main, as you can see right here. So I send that out to the main. Okay, get your levels right, get your panning right, then plugins. That's how that works. Okay, let's talk about my buses here. So let's go. We'll do top-down mixing here right now. I've got a multi-band compressor EQ, a dynamics compressor EQ here, and I'm just using the generic, the default. That's all I'm doing. It actually adds quite a bit of color to it just by itself, and it's pretty impressive just by itself. So I'll turn that on. Next to that, I got my Ambiance, and remember again, I've got all my room mics are going to this one, so it's just a Pro EQ on there. I'll turn that on. And next to that, I got my drum parallel compressor, and that's being sent from my drum bus, my regular drum bus that all these drums are going to, and that gets sent over to a parallel compressor, which basically gives you more volume. If you don't know what parallel compression is, look it up. It's pretty cool. So I'll turn that on, and my effects on the drum bus itself is just a compressor, and I'll show you what I got here. It's just a generic compressor. It says right here, drum bus generic compressor. That's all it is, not hip hop. It's this guy right here. That's all it is. So I'll turn that on. You can hear it starting to come to life. And next to that, on my kick bus, I've got another compressor, which is just set to bass drum metal, and that sounds like this. You can hear it starting to come in, and then I'll turn on my Pro EQ on my snare and my fat channel on my snare. And you can see how it just lifts the shelf up a little bit. So that's it. Pretty quick and simple. Let's A/B that now. This is without. That's without. This is with. Not much to it, man. That's it. That's all I wanted to show you here tonight. And I will be mixing this one in 3 more sessions, and I will do a video on each piece that I do for 58 tracks. That's a tall order. But Sean from Adelaide Studios, thanks for watching, and you know the drill. See you soon.